Joe Gibbs may have 60 years of experience in sports, but he needs the younger generation if he's going to win any new trophies. But now, his star racer, Kyle Busch, is taking leave from the team. What will happen to the Joe Gibbs Racing team if Kyle isn't racing? Is that why Joe Gibbs Racing is worried about next year's season? Let's find out. Success isn't a walk in the park, and Joe Gibbs didn't get here easily. He started out as an offensive line coach in 1964 at San Diego State, owning one of the most successful teams in NASCAR. The numerous cups he has won speaks volumes and has made him a king of racing. Gibbs began coaching at a tender age, leading him to San Diego, Florida State, Southern California, and Arkansas in the college ranks, and to the NFL with the St. Louis Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and San Diego Chargers. All these happened before Gibbs got his first head coaching job with the 1981 Washington Redskins. When he felt he had enough of being a coach for football teams, he retired in 1992 and formed Joe Gibbs Racing. Under his administration, Joe Gibbs Racing has won 5 NASCAR Cup Championship Series, confirming his title as the Racing King. For 16 seasons, the Joe Gibbs Racing team has been on track, running cars from General Motors. During that time, the team won their first 3 championships, 2 in Pontiac Grand Prix and 1 in the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Even after recording such success, Joe Gibbs announced in the 2007 season that they would no longer race with cars from General Motors. According to him, the executives at Joe Gibbs Racing believed General Motors could no longer meet their standards for car requirements. Gibbs further said that Toyota offered the team resources that General Motors could not afford to do. At the beginning of the next season in 2008, they partnered with Toyota. This partnership put Toyota in the light as a brand with a fast and reliable ride with premium features. Gibbs signed Kyle Busch to replace J.J. Yealy in the number 18 Toyota the same year. In 2015, because Kyle Busch won the NASCAR Cup Series, Busch's career has been remarkable, and so has the team in general. In the NASCAR Cup Series, the Joe Gibbs team races with 4 full-time entries. The number 11 raced with Toyota Camry by Denny Hamlin. The number 19 runs with Toyota Camry by Martin Truex Jr., the number 20 with Toyota Camry by Christopher Bell, and the number 54 with Toyota Camry by Ty Gibbs. In the Xfinity Series, the team currently races in 3 full-time entries. The number 18 Toyota Supra meant for multiple drivers, and the number 19 and number 54 Toyota Supra for a driver yet to be announced. Recently, the news of Kyle's intention to sign out of the Joe Gibbs Racing team started circulating, and it turned out to be true. Busch is ending the 15-year partnership, which has earned 56 wins, 2 Cup championships in 2015, and Xfinity Series championships. 91 career wins for the team. It's all ending. Kyle Busch announced his intentions to depart the Joe Gibbs team in mid-September. He further revealed that he'll be joining Richard Childress Racing for the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season, which in some ways will allow him the opportunity to reunite with Chevrolet, his best car model. Though Kyle Busch will depart Joe Gibbs Racing as one of its most successful drivers, he's not leaving as a happy man because, in a more generous sense, this departure should never have happened. Kyle Busch is disappointed because he's leaving due to a trivial issue. The team is not coming to terms with NASCAR Active Champion Cup. However, Busch wasn't always the best team driver. He battled with anger most of the time, even though he was always at the top of his game. Like the NASCAR rulebook says, the key to getting a Cup championship is not to be consistent and not show off a strong will. Busch was caught in the trap of showing off strong will several times. Busch's inability to control his anger on track got so bad in 2011 that NASCAR had to fine and put him on probation. According to the NASCAR rulebook, Kyle Busch violated the rule in Section 12, an action detrimental to stock car racing. At that point, Joe Gibbs told Busch he needed to put his anger in check by studying a course in anger management. Another incident happened recently. During the racing, the left front wheel on Kyle Busch's car wasn't installed properly. So at a pit stop on lap 230, the tire began to shake and rub against the left front fender along Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The vehicle's wheel clung to Busch's car for a while before rolling away down the backstretch. It finally came to rest against the inside wall as Busch drove back to the pits to get another left front tire put on. NASCAR announced that the team for Joe Gibbs Racing number 18 crew had been suspended for the next 4 races. This suspension meant Kyle Busch would not work with his crew chief for the rest of the 2022 season. It also meant that the number 18 team would not race with their leader until the next season in 2023. Despite Kyle Busch's anger issues that kept sending him off track and the recent incident, Coach Joe Gibbs didn't give up on him. So we cannot say that Busch is resigning from the team because of his issues. Mars and its various brands have been the primary sponsor of the number 18 car racing since Busch signed a contract with Gibbs Racing back in 2008. Since then, the team has become the most recognizable in NASCAR for decades. Things turned sour when Gibbs needed help finding enough partners to fill the void and contribute to the financial support required to keep Busch. Unfortunately, he couldn't find support to fill that void, and the tables turned. Due to the lack of sponsorship, Kyle decided to call it quits with the Gibbs Racing team. He said, "This process took a lot longer than I expected it to, but this was one of the most important decisions of my life, and I definitely couldn't rush through it. I had to find a place where I knew I could win races immediately. Collecting trophies is still the main reason I get up every day and go to the racetrack. I also needed a place where I felt like I could hit reset and be welcome just as I am. At the end of the day, one team and one owner emerged as the clear choice. I'm excited to announce that I will take my talents to North Carolina to drive the number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing starting in 2023. In response, Gibbs said that the 15 years they had with Busch on board were fantastic. He has tried everything to keep Busch but couldn't. He says Busch has found a home and can only wish him the best because he's sure he'll win many races. After Kyle Busch signed out of Gibbs Racing, the number 18 Toyota was without a driver for the next season, even though everyone expected Ty Gibbs to take over. With Truex not committed beyond 2023, Busch may not be the team's sole big-name departure, perhaps creating another open seat. Gibbs Racing will be without a full-time Xfinity Series driver, and John Hunter Nemechek appears to be the most probable choice. Regardless, the team will lack cohesiveness if it is not one for all and all for one, as has been the case in the Xfinity Series. Carrying that driving style over to the Cup Series will not be helpful. Luckily, Ty Gibbs, Joe Gibbs' grandson, has been signed in and will officially get on track to compete in the NASCAR Cup Series. Ty Gibbs is a good replacement for the two-time Cup champion, Kyle Busch. The 20-year-old has won 7 races en route to the Xfinity Series and will drive the number 54 Toyota Camry in 2023, the same number he raced with. This race would be the team's first race without their original number. It looked like the team was up and set with their A game, but a setback makes it seem like the next NASCAR season will be a disaster for Gibbs Racing. A few hours after Ty Gibbs' triumph in the race that set the pace for the next year's championship, his father died on the same day as the final, meant to set the pace and record straight for the championship. Ty Gibbs did not compete in the Cup Series season final. Ty Gibbs has not said anything since his father's death, but Joe Gibbs has promised to speak to the media during the NASCAR Awards banquet in Nashville on December 1st. It's bad enough that his most valued racer has ended their deal when they least expected it. His replacement is going through the toughest time in his life and may not be able to compete. Will Joe get another replacement in such a short time? We're unsure that Joe Gibbs Racing will put off an unexpected move in the race for the NASCAR Championship Series in 2023, but he will surely prove why he was so successful as a football coach and how he was able to build one of the toughest teams in NASCAR. We hope Joe Gibbs can sort out their differences quickly to enable them to get headway in the coming race.